You want it to be one way.
What?
You want it to be one way.
Man, I don't
You
know
want it
what
to
you...
be one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
What is the other way?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It is the other way. And welcome once again to the latest edition of the One Way Podcast. I'm your host, Lorenzo. And just like, just like some of the older versions of the podcast, today I will be coming to you from the road. I've had the opportunity or the time to actually talk about Deontay Wilder. So I have the topic, I have the time, I have the ability, and I'm going to get right into it right now. Well, this past Saturday, Deontay Wilder, the American-born, Alabama-bred heavyweight champion of the world, as far as boxing is concerned, WBC anyway, faced off against the Cuban-born Luis Ortiz in a match that I'll remember as impressive. Now, I've heard that you can't always confuse a great performance with a great fight, and that is true, because within a great fight, there can be some pretty suspect performances. One guy can make the other guy look good. One guy can make the other guy look good. One guy can make the other guy look bad. So those things factor in great fights. But a great performance just has one guy a great performance can be one guy just beating another guy for 10, 12 straight rounds and it being a clean sweep of all the rounds. So we can't confuse those two. So it's not to say that in winning this fight this past Saturday that Deontay Wilder looked very impressive technically. But the way he won was impressive nonetheless. Around the first or second round, I could see that this was going to be a different fight for Deontay Wilder based on the fact that he's a right-handed guy or an orthodox fighter fighting a left-handed guy. And usually when that happens, your jab is taken away. If you think about it, let's say you're right-handed right now and you are up against someone that is left-handed. Well, the left-handed person's lead hand is going to be their right hand. That's going to be their jab hand. So that's going to be the glove that's up in their face for the most part, protecting themselves. And you as a right-handed fighter, when you throw your jab with your left hand, it's actually on the same side as the lead hand. So your jab is going to be taken away. And obviously, and rightfully so, Luis Ortiz sort of did that with Deontay Wilder. But what he did not have a plan for, as Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. He did not account for Deontay Wilder's power, and that's eventually what got him out of here. Now, a lot of people in the boxing community, boxers and fans alike, don't like Deontay Wilders. Don't like the Deontay Wilders of the world because they're brash. Don't like the Deontay Wilders of the world because they're not the most technically sound people. And to them, I say, so what? I'll never be that kind of guy to say, we used to play the game this way, we used to play the game that way, the game was better this way, the game was better that way. I appreciate a person winning at the highest level, no matter how they're winning. And that just happens to be what Deontay Wilder is doing. Now, he is relatively unknown to be the American-born heavyweight champion, but that's just because how boxing is set up right now. For years, the heavyweight division of boxing has suffered from not really having people with names or not really having a sustained American presence. And now that we have that in Deontay Wilder, man, I've been all in for from the beginning. Seeing that he's now 40-0 with 39 knockouts, he's knocked out every man that we put in front of him. At the time when people were saying that his resume was suspect, that he hasn't fought anyone. He ended up fighting Luis Ortiz in this fight. He ended up withstanding all the things that people say Luis Ortiz brings to the table. He ended up beating Luis Ortiz. So the man gets a pass from me no matter what. No matter what, he gets a pass from me. And seeing him come back from a 7th round that most people can't come back from was like seeing Anthony Joshua come back in the round in which he was knocked down by Klitschko. Although Deontay Wilder never touched the canvas, the man looked to be out on his feet. But like a champion, he withstood the 7th round, even though he was in trouble with a full minute to go. He withstood the 8th round, even though he was in trouble, and Luis Ortiz looked good in that round as well. But he stayed in there. He stayed strong. And usually you get this loud, boisterous Deontay Wilder after wins, and after this one, there seemed to be this sigh of relief on his face. Like, I did it. I finally did it. I finally quieted some of the critics. Now, there'll always be more critics. And because the heavyweight division is so small right now, this fight almost seemed to be almost like a semifinal match, so to speak. Let's consider the last 4 fighters, or the 4 fighters I'm going to name, let's consider them the final 4 of boxing. You have Luis Ortiz as the number 3 seed. You have Deontay Wilder as the number 2 seed. You have the number 1 seed, which is Anthony Joshua, and maybe the number 4 seed. Wow, I forgot his name that quickly, but he's a boxer out of Joseph Parker. You take Joseph Parker and make him the 4 seed, and you have him fighting against Anthony Joshua later this month. So the winner of that fight will probably undoubtedly face Deontay Wilder, and this right here will actually be a unification bout for the heavyweight title, which is something that's going to be good for the division. You know, one face, one man, one name, one champion. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that, you know, we're looking forward to. Those are the type of things that we want to have actually happen and take place, you know, this year in the heavyweight division of boxing. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Deontay Wilder, show some appreciation for what it is that he recently accomplished. I really enjoyed watching the fight, and like, you know, fights where I have this vested interest or this connection to the fighter out there. I definitely had that those roller coaster of emotions as I was watching. Like I said, the 7th round was legitimately scary for someone that is a Deontay Wilder fan. But like I said, man, the man stood tall. You have to take the belt from the champion, and that's what Luis Ortiz failed to do. So hopefully he has a few more fights left in his system. So, you know, it's always good to see a nice, technically sound guy, you know, get into the ring. So hopefully he still has more to come. I believe he still has more in his bag, even though he's a 38-year-old fighter. Deontay Wilder being 32, Anthony Joshua being in his late 20s, and the same thing with with Joseph Parker. I do believe that for many years to come, we're going to have some interesting competition, some interesting fights, and that's not to mention a few of the names that will be up and coming really soon. But that's literally all I have for this topic. And once again, man, thanks for listening. Peace.
You want it to be one way.
What?
You want it to be one way.
Man, I don't
You
know
want it
what
to be
you...
one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
But it's the other way.